Asus ZenWiFi XT9. But is it Wi-Fi everywhere always secure? Still in my makeshift studio, I'm sorry. But check this out. To Mic Drops Tech, thank you very much, Mr. Asus. They're pretty darn small. I got 3 LAN ports. I got my WAN port for connectivity. That's going to go to your router. USB, power, and a good old-fashioned power switch. How many times do you have to cycle the power on and off on something when it's playing up and you have to unplug the cable and then try and fan about plugging it back in when you can just flick a switch? I like it. I've got my QR codes right on the front. They're going to help me set up. But check this out. This is another thing. Until you've been frustrated about it, you don't appreciate how important this is. You've got identical connectivity on both points. They didn't skimp and only give you the good connections on one and then just give you one connection on the other. What does that mean? When I go set up my second one in another room or on another floor in the house, I can plug in hardwire to it if I want to try and get as much stability as I can. So in other words, let's pretend this one is in the studio and this one's downstairs in the main house. In the studio, I can connect my network addressable storage to this. I can connect my laptop to this using Ethernet. So I've got solid, stable connections going, and then I've just got one wireless connection between the 2 access points. The alternative is usually on the remote devices, you don't get all of this. You might get one if you're lucky. And so what happens is you're connecting with Wi-Fi to access point number 2, that's then connecting with Wi-Fi to access point number 1. Yes, it works, but the more Wi-Fi you use, the more you open up the opportunity for interference, for problems, for stability issues. So that is killer. Uni4 is an expanded spectrum that actually opens up the 150 megahertz band for Wi-Fi 6 to give a third clean band for the routers to communicate between themselves, and it's not affecting your main channels. So in other words, imagine a 2-lane highway where data's going this way, and there's only a maximum amount of cars that can go on it. Now you've got a 4-lane highway. The speed limit's still the same, but twice as much traffic can go backwards and forwards. I know it's not a perfect analogy, but I'm trying, okay, people? I'm trying. So this is going to let us banish Wi-Fi dead zones. That is a bold statement to make, Mr. Asus, but they are telling us that this tri-band system that is mesh, and you can add more devices to it if you've got a bigger house, but this is going to be good up to about 6,000 square feet, which is going to cover most people's houses. The unique antenna setup in here is supposed to help get that Wi-Fi signal flowing quicker, cleaner, and give you throughputs up to 7,800 megabits per second. My connection's only a gig. I think there's some future-proofing going on right now. So let's talk about the always up-to-date protection for a minute. One of the things that really grates Uncle Mikey when I test devices is when companies want to nickel and dime you and make you pay for more upgrades after you've already bought the thing that you were buying. And Wi-Fi is a case in point, because I had the Orbi system for a while, and it was an okay system, but Mr. Netgear, for a $900 system, I don't want to subscribe and pay even more money to give me features I should already have. The good folks at Asus didn't do that. This comes with lifetime updates from Trend Micro to keep your Wi-Fi safe and secure, and I think that's the right move, because there comes a point where security and stability shouldn't be optional upgrades. Everybody should have the most secure device. It's why Apple wins with iPhone. You get updates, and it keeps your phone safe, or at least we have the illusion that it keeps our phones safe. Don't really know how safe they are, but it's why they win. If everybody had secure connectivity, I think we'd have less hacking, malware, ransomware, less all of that stuff, and we would all benefit from that. So I got to give hats off to Asus. I think it's a smart move, I think it's a great move, and it's very welcome to see when so many other players in the Wi-Fi space are seeing this as an opportunity to nickel and dime for a few extra dollars. You can mix and match ZenWiFi and other AI mesh routers so that you can build your wireless network as large as you want. Again, we love open standards, we love open protocols. It's the way technology won in the first place, and it's the way that we need to get back to. I'm getting philosophical right now, because all these closed systems don't make sense. Can you imagine email if you could only email from a Gmail account to a Gmail account? Yeah, we put up with it with messaging. Also got VPN functionality built in on this bad boy, and we're going to check that out in the app in a second. And that leads me to safe browsing, which is another feature included with this that is not an optional extra, and not something I've got to pay for. Safe browsing is a big deal. I don't want trash coming into my home. I don't want my kids to see it. I don't want to see it. And having the ability to turn on some content filtering included by default in an easy to use app is phenomenal. So right now, as we're just talking about this, and I haven't set it up yet and I haven't played with it, so we're going to see if it's all it's cracked up to be. Right now, I am feeling like this is probably the best Wi-Fi system that I've got my hands on, seriously, maybe ever. Plug and connect USB tethering. Check this out. Have a backup internet connection. Connect the XT9 to an Android phone or an iPhone using a USB cable, and it will use the phone's hotspot as a backup for all your Wi-Fi. Now, I know what you're saying, right? Oh, well, I could just connect to it. But you can't. My Nest thermostat's not going to just quickly connect to my phone's hotspot if my internet goes down. So you're not going to stream Netflix on here, but by golly, that's a pretty cool feature. Like if you're down for a couple of hours and you just need some basic connectivity because you still want your Wi-Fi thermostats to work, you still want to be able to update your weather on your fridge and all those other kind of things that we now have in a smart home, this will let you do that by tethering to your phone. Dude, I think that is amazing. Like I really do. So let's go set them up. Ethernet, just in case you need it. I've been using the 2-unit system in place of my 3-unit system TP-Link and in place of my 3-unit system Netgear Orbi. And the Wi-Fi's actually been better, stronger. I don't think I've had any hiccups at all. I don't actually think I've had to reboot the system once. I don't even think I've opened the app since I set it up. It's been nothing short of impressive, and let me show you just how impressive it is. Because I am now in the Nashville area at a project I'm working on with a house that was burned down. You may have seen it on my other YouTube channel. So I'm living in the guest house, but I needed to use Wi-Fi recently in the main house. Here's a shot to show you just how far this Wi-Fi is reaching from a single satellite of a 2-unit system. Let's go check it out. If you are looking for incredible Wi-Fi 6E, you've got a few $100 to spend or more, I am here to tell you, you can go watch my other videos if you want. Uncle Mikey's winner right now of the 3 systems I have lived with for meaningful amounts of time. This is not a day or two of a test. I'm talking months and years that I've used these systems for. This Asus system for $399 is literally blowing my socks off. Like, take your cheese and eat it. This sucker is like half and then some of what I paid for my Netgear system. And it's got more features, it's got more included stuff that I don't have to pay extra for. And by golly, if the range isn't incredible and the quality of the signal solid. I mean, if you're looking for Wi-Fi 6E, this is the one to buy. You heard it here first. Except probably not first because it's been out a little while. But I didn't know that when they sent it to me.